Tom, attacking Meghan Markle has turned out to be an amazing career hazard. Now, she's already got Piers Morgan fired, of course, from morning TV. He's now got a job with Talk TV, for calling her a liar, and correctly so in my opinion. And now Jeremy Clarkson is reportedly losing a new deal with Amazon Prime for saying how much he hated her and wanting her humiliated, although I thought the ways he listed of her being humiliated were gross. What does this tell us?
I think it tells us that cancel culture exists. I mean, we're often told that it doesn't. I think Meghan's almost been on a one-woman mission to prove the opposite. She's ripped through the British media in particular with remarkable fashion, where, as you say, we had Piers Morgan, who lost his job on Good Morning Britain for saying he didn't believe anything that Meghan said, opinion that has stood the test of time, I think it's fair to say, in retrospect. We've now obviously got Jeremy Clarkson reports that Amazon Video Prime might drop him, there's also kind of questions over whether or not he'll actually return to The Sun on Sunday, the newspaper in which that article was published, and his future presenting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on ITV. And there's also figures who people forget about. Ian Murray, who in the UK was the executive director of the Society of Editors, the kind of trade body, obviously, for newspapers and editors in this country. He defended the press against Meghan's allegations of racism and then was forced to step down by some prominent members of his own organisation who basically said, no, we are racist. How dare you suggest otherwise? So Meghan mania has sort of ripped through the British media with outstanding kind of velocity. And it seems like even someone like Jeremy Clarkson, who's always been a figure of controversy, who will often say things that get him in trouble, but was generally seen as a kind of harmless troublemaker, could well bear the brunt of it, it looks like.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because he also then wrote a big apology to the royal couple, printed in the paper. He said he was wrong, really apologetic. I have no reason to believe it wasn't genuine. It turns out, really, Tom, that you can apologise all you like and it's still used as yet another stick to beat you with.
I completely agree. I mean, Jeremy Clarkson has done everything that the cancellors have demanded of him. So the article was retracted. He gave a grovelling apology. He's promised to do better. I mean, in his second apology, he effectively says, I will tone it down even if it means losing my edge. He says that pretty explicitly. And yet it's still not enough because cancel culture isn't about accountability. It's not about people being taken to task for horrible things that they've said, as some people would judge that column was. It's about punishing people who you dislike, who you disagree with, who you didn't like even before this particular controversy probably came along. And I think in the figure of Jeremy Clarkson and his cancellation, we see that really clearly. And it's a bit of a shame because sometimes people will want to apologise for things. I don't think he should have apologised. I don't think the claims being made against him are fair. But at the same time, it's almost one of the byproducts of cancel culture is that it's made apologising, even if you mean it, a mug's game at this point, and that's another unfortunate consequence.
Yeah, well, look, apologies are given on the presumption that you can atone and be forgiven, but I don't think the cancel culture knows what atonement or forgiveness really is. And now, like I say, it's just another weapon to smash you. Well, there you go. Tom Slater, thank you so much indeed for your time.